Good morning. Only the two matches yesterday, and on paper, very tough to unpack. 2.5 the favourite, and a London derby. I couldn't have foreseen a 4-goal haul for Brighton. João Pedro having an excellent night with a couple of, an assist and a couple of penalties. So job done for him. Does suggest that Tottenham were a tad unlucky, doesn't it? A couple of late goals from the Spuds, but far too much to do. A 4-goal mountain to climb with only 9 minutes to go. Not sure if I would have played in any way, all dependent on the in-play stats, I would suggest. But please remember, 2.5 the favourite. This is not a shock result. It's telling you, too tough to call. So please bear in mind these odds. They're there for a reason. And I keep harping on about them for a reason. As I do about derbies, any other type of derby. Could be Juventus versus Torino, geographical derby. Could be Juventus versus Inter Milan, a high-profile derby. It could be a London derby, like Arsenal against the Hammers. Now, I did mention in yesterday's preview video that I thought Arsenal's odds were far too short, given both sides have had 5 wins in the last 7 matches. Very dismissive of the Hammers yesterday. Would I have played? Well, it's a London derby. Form lines are thrown out of the window. Looks like Nketiah came on in reaction to the 2 goals. Benrahma missing a penalty, could have added the icing to the cake. An excellent performance from the Hammers yesterday, but it was a pretty much as you were strong Arsenal lineup. So just a gentle reminder to you, derby matches, the form lines can be thrown out the window. So in that regard, very tough to research and to trust. Indeed, 2.5 the favourite is the same. On to today, and it's normally my day off. There are some good matches, and with only 2 days until New Year's Eve, I'm not sure if anyone will be up for a session this evening. I'm not sure what you fancy doing on a Friday night prior in what is a holiday period. So I might not do a session, but I'll certainly do a session on Monday. We've got the English Championship, League 1, League 2 returning on Monday again. They have been superb, I must say, for trading. Considering we don't research the matches, they have been exceptional. The 2 occasions I've done a 3 o'clock to 5 o'clock session, which I'll do on Monday for you, live chat. We have knocked it out of the park with huge profits for small outlay. But looking on to tonight, the Elite League is the Italian Serie A. So let's have a quick look at that. Well, let's start off with Dundee United, Partick Thistle. Very rarely head off to the Scottish Championship, but it's a quietish evening. This is a top 3 clash, so immediately you're on the back foot there. Are Dundee United really that much better than Partick Thistle, considering it's a top 3 clash? You remember we played that top 2 clash, I think Barrow and another side. Barrow leading 2-0 early against first in the lead. I think it was Stockport, if my memory serves. And that got to 2-2. So you've got scope, I think, if Dundee United score first or lead, the potential for a top 3 clash to be tighter than the odds suggest is there. Only 1 loss for Dundee United, though they're well placed. They failed to score in the last 2 matches, though. It could be down to the mince pies. No 0-0 at home. No 0-0 at half-time at home either. So possibility of a goal. 4 0-0s at half-time at home, none at full-time. So no 0-0. So that's something to go to war with this evening. 0-5 win last head-to-head is emphatic, considering it was at Partick Thistle. And these 2 are top 3. Only 4 defeats for Partick Thistle. Both teams have scored in the last 8. 2+ goals scored in the last 4 away. Both sides do tend to struggle against fellow top sides. That's the concern there. Fiorentina and Torino, very tight for both teams over this Christmas period. Torino season long, though, have been very poor away from home against the top 9, tending to lose. And this is 5th against 10th today. 0-0, 1-1, 0-0 goals scored away latest for Torino. It's there for the plucking for Fiorentina, but they themselves have been pretty lackluster in front of goal. 1-1, 1-0, 1-0 wins latest. So they have to rely on that defence. And I just remind you of that. No, both 6 consecutive under 2.5 goal matches. Okay, so this could be a very tight affair. 2.15 the favourite is not discounting Torino this evening. As you mentioned yesterday with that Brighton-Tottenham match, do pay attention to the market. It does give you clues. Napoli and Monza. Loss, draw, loss. Ended with that must-win against Cagliari in the last match. They just had to end that really poor sequence. They did lose 2-0 to Roma, though, Napoli. They've conceded in the last 7 at home. It's really poor stuff. 7th against 11th. Napoli, you would not expect to be 7th in the league. They've only one defeat, though, home and away against 12th and lower. Is that going to extend to 11th? 7 goals conceded at home in the last half hour as well. So they are vulnerable, Napoli, at the moment. But 3 losses in 4 for Monza. Only 2 wins since the 22nd of October. They find winning very difficult at the moment. They are yet to beat a top 12 side home or away, and they meet 7th today. That's quite damning. But this is the time to take on Napoli when they're not in the best frame of mind. But it will be an interesting match. It could be another kind of redemption match for Napoli to get another win under their belt like they did against Cagliari. That match itself was a tough one for them as well. Genoa and Inter Milan, top of the league, Inter Milan, playing 13th Genoa today. They've scored 5 goals in the 31st to 45th minute at home. So if it's 0-0 after the 30 minute, why not have a punt? Lay that 0-0 in the half-time score market or lay the draw in the half-time market. Only 1 loss for Inter Milan, 8 wins and 2 draws in the last 8, keeping clean sheets and winning 2-0 over Christmas, ticking every single box. 7 matches without a 0-0 at half-time, tend to get a goal before half-time as well, Inter Milan. Cannot desert them at the moment, but Genoa could be a thorn in their side. Win, loss, win, draw at home latest for them. And a recent 1-1 against Juventus suggests that they can keep the big boys quiet. Juventus having a renaissance at the moment. I think they're top 3 as well. So watch out. The Genoese could be a thorn in the side. But if Genoa score first, I don't think Inter Milan will allow them to score 2 consecutive goals. That could be your avenue in. Lazio, the Romans, are playing Frosinone. Win, draw, win, loss at home for Lazio. The loss was against Inter Milan. That's no great shock or surprise. Over Christmas, a 2-0 loss against Inter and a 0-2 win against Empoli. 9th against 14th. Lazio have only 1 loss against 5th and lower. That was a 0-1 defeat against 13th. It's been a poor Christmas for Frosinone. 2 2-1 defeats. They are worse away than they are at home. They do all their good work at home. 6 consecutive away defeats. No win in 8 away. Pretty poor stuff. So you'd be favouring Lazio on that. Were Frosinone at home, I would have been looking at Frosinone to get something out of this. Portuguese Primeira Liga, we've got 2 sub 1.15 favourites in Benfica and Famalicão. I think Benfica are the more vulnerable here. They're finding it difficult to score that second goal. They've actually had 2 1-1 draws in the last 3 at home. They're playing 8th in the league for Famalicão. 2 consecutive 1-1 draws for themselves as well, but only 1 win since the 30th of September. The value for me here is in laying Benfica if they lead. Why? The odds will be extremely short, and it's not going to cost you anything to find out whether that 1-1 draw will pervade again in the Benfica match. Slightly different for Porto at 1.10. They're playing the Chavs today, so just keep your wallet safe and watch your car. They might nick your catalytic converter, the Chavs. Only 3 defeats for Porto this season. No draw in 10, so you've got carte blanche to lay any late draw or even lay the draw second half. Only 3 wins for the Chavs, 5 defeats in 6 matches, 6 losses and a win in the last 7 away. And they have, significantly for me, lost 5-0 to both 5th and 7th. Now with sides like Benfica and Porto at 1.15 and 1.10, normal expectation is 3-0, 3-1, any other home score, and a possibility of at least a goal before half-time. As I say with Benfica, that might not come out if they continue with their 1-1 draw sequence. So for me, they're labelled. But Porto, it looks as if the Chavs really struggle uh, even to score against top 7 sides. So you'd be more expectant from a Porto perspective that they'll bring in our expected scorelines 3-0, 3-1. Any other home score? We do have, as I've alluded to, the English Championship, English League One, English League Two. Why is it not on at 3 o'clock on a Saturday? It's because it's on Monday, which I believe is New Year's Day. So we're getting a rather unique Friday coupon. And as I've said, the last 2 sessions we've done, English Championship, League One, League Two, it's just been exceptional. Very strange as well, because you don't research these matches. Forest Green, gettable 0-2 up against Newport County. Newport County at odds of 24, bringing it home with a 4-2 win. That was the highlight of the last trading session. Plenty of previews, so do please read those. I don't research, but you've got your obvious sides. You've got the Saints continuing. At 1.4, they were very emphatic last match. Ipswich, odds on at home. I do collect odds on favourites in these leagues without researching matches. Cardiff, Leicester, entertain Leicester. 1.62 favourites, Leicester City. English League One, got our odds on favourites. Wigan, Portsmouth away from home. Got a good trade last match for Pompey. 1.75 Bolton. 1.65 Peterborough, who've been in pretty good form, but they'll be disappointed with a 2-2 last match. 1.67 Stevenage. And in English League Two, we've got very strong favourites. AFC Wimbledon at home. The Gills, Mansfield, who did have that unbeaten run, ended recently. MK Dons have got us that goal second half after laying the draw last match. Their in-play stats were superb last match, so do keep an eye on their in-play stats. Notts County, those are the odds on favourites there. That's what the matches I'll be prioritising, but as ever, the in-play stats will play a big role. I'm not sure if I'll be doing a session this evening. It is normally my day off. It is a couple of days before New Year's Eve. And for me, I think you'll have far too many distractions, really, to be doing a 7:45 p.m. session, which for me is a 2:45 a.m. start. So I'll be far keener to do a full session for you on Monday, which is normally my day off. Saturday, I'll be up and about doing a live chat webinar for you. No German Bundesliga means we're probably going to start at 3 o'clock, but we'll have a big gap. So I might not do a live chat webinar. We've only just got a smattering of 3 o'clock kickoffs. I normally do a live chat webinar when we've got all of these other 3 o'clocks in our way. We don't want any dead time. But up to you. I'd like your feedback on that. Sunday, just very, very quiet. You've got English Premier League. Again, another London derby featuring Arsenal. So just watch out. Are they going to react to that West Ham defeat? Fulham have suddenly stopped scoring. So that could be an opportunity for Arsenal. Tottenham have to get back after that 4-2 defeat to Brighton. And they're again on the south coast. No, they're not. They're at home to the Cherries, Bournemouth. We've got the Israeli Liga Ha'al, Beitar Jerusalem, and Maccabi Tel Aviv, strong favourite, and Maccabi Haifa, strong favourite as well. And that's it for Sunday. I won't be doing anything on Sunday. Monday, I think it would be good if you want a live chat webinar, 3 o'clock start for the English Championship, League One and League Two, as I've alluded to. They've been extremely good. Probably won't do one this evening, but certainly you'll have a live chat webinar from me on Monday if you'd like to attend. Liverpool-Newcastle should be a fascinating match. Likely Newcastle are going to stutter here. Their away form is appalling. You don't want to be visiting the Reds when you're in such poor away form. Have a great evening this evening. I have put a chat up on Footballtradingprofits.club just in case I am up and about this evening. As I've said, it has been extremely profitable following the English Championship, League One and League Two teams over this Christmas period. 2 consecutive sessions of really solid profits. It's a pity we don't get any more attendees to the live chats. I do hope you will come along if you can in the new year. You're missing a treat. I'm here to make you money. So if you'll allow me to, then come along to a live chat. Okay? Have a great Christmas Eve, I think it is. Whatever you're doing. And if I am up and about, I'll be on Telegram and on this chat. But no promises. It is my day off. And I will certainly compensate that for you with a session on Monday. You've got my word on that. 3 o'clock Monday session to start the new year off with some green. Have a great day and enjoy your weekend.